Willie D Live.
What's up, family? We got Attorney General Pam Bondi admitting to hiring January 6th rioter Jared Wise. Yeah, fam. Not before. I'm talking like this year. The DOJ hired a January 6th rioter who was pardoned by Donald Trump, your president. It's cold-blooded, man. Woo, boy, this is a cold-blooded country right here, the way they do it, man. Check it out.
Attorney General Bondi, that man works for you now, right?
Who was that, Congressman?
The man in that video, the one who was in the police-worn body cam footage, the one allegedly yelling "kill him" at police officers on January 6th, his name is Jared Wise.
He does work for us.
He works for you at the Department of
Yes,
Justice.
He does.
This is an individual whom a federal grand jury indicted for 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors related to his participation in the attack on January 6th. One of those charges was forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with police with the intent to commit another felony. This is who you choose as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States of America to hire at the Department of Justice. Someone on video yelling "kill him" at police officers, right?
I believe he was pardoned by President Trump.
Oh, he was pardoned. You're right. You're right. Pardoned by President Trump for his offense. Pardoned for yelling "kill him" at police officers. And yet you expect hardworking police officers across the country to believe that you take law enforcement seriously. You could imagine the reaction of so many folks across the country hearing the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States refuse to even condemn what that individual whom you've now hired did. But in any event,
Let me tell you something, fam. Boy, they had Pam on the ropes all day long. She was on the ropes. I mean, she would not turn to look at the Epstein victims who were standing right behind her, looking for some type of hope from her that they would get justice. She would not apologize for not redacting their faces. Actually, some of them were initially redacted, and then next thing you know, they wasn't. And so she revealed their identities, putting them in harm's way, because, you know, there's a lot of uncivilized mutts out there who will protect Donald Trump at all costs. They care nothing about women, girls, children, nothing. They're just uncivilized. So how do you explain this? How do you explain hiring people who yell "kill police officers" and you're the law and order president, you're the law and order regime? Yeah, how do you explain that? At this rate, fam, Ghislaine Maxwell is going to be the head of the SVU, the Special Victims Unit. Yeah. They don't care about your record. I thought that these type of people were supposed to be vetted, like extremely vetted. Yeah, I always thought that you had to go through some strenuous vetting to become, a DOJ employee, FBI. Interesting. They would allow someone who screamed "kill police officer," kill him, kill him. He's yelling, "kill the police officer." It doesn't matter if, see, she said, well, he was pardoned. She excused it by saying he was pardoned. That's all fine and dandy, but it's a little different here when you got him on camera yelling, kill him. That's him. You can't say that he was mistreated. You can't say that somebody else or they got it it was mistaken. You can't scream mistaken identity. It's him. This is the guy right here, Jared Wise. This is the guy on camera yelling, kill him, directing the other insurrectionist to kill a police officer. Now, they always talk about how they love police officers and how we got to make sure we protect them because it's a hard job, man. It's such a hard job. And we need to be empathetic toward police officers and also grateful for them. And they must be protected at all cost. And, their lives are more valuable than ours. Talking about the regular citizens, not the members of Congress. But their lives are extremely valuable. So we must protect them at all costs. But we'll make an exception from time to time if a person who screams kill the police officers is working for us and he's part of our agenda, he's on our side, and he's willing to overthrow the government on our behalf, then he's one of us. So it doesn't matter that he screamed kill him. He was just screaming kill that police officer. But they can't even say that. They can't even admit to that because that's what he meant. He don't want to kill all police officers because the police really are their personal henchmen. Law enforcement are their personal henchmen. This is why Trump was so pro law enforcement, because he knew he was going to need law enforcement to help save him whenever the hammer came down and it was time for him to be held accountable for his actions, for his crimes. So he was only placating law enforcement so that they wouldn't be so harsh against him. He knows he's going to need them in the long run. So what does he do? He butters them up. He say nice things about them and all of this type of stuff. Pat them on top of the head and they fall for it every time. The biggest criminal in the country is occupying the White House and making decisions for all of us. Family. They hired a January 6th, the biggest law agency in the country hired someone who tried to overthrow the government. Think about that. And many of those guys are ICE agents anyway. A lot of those guys who were insurrectionists became members of ICE. They are members of ICE. They are in law enforcement in some capacity. They are Klans members. They are Klan members. They are neo-Nazis, skinheads, Proud Boys. Yeah. The guys who get protection from law enforcement. I like the theatrics that Pam Bondi speaks of. The only thing is that she's speaking of those theatrics in regards to herself, because she's going and she's looking like she's like rifling through documents and stuff as what's his name? Joe Neguse, as Joe Neguse speaks. But she's really not going through it. She's really not reading anything. And she couldn't even look him in the eyes. She couldn't even look him in the eyes. They're on Pam's head right now. We're being led, family, by an organized crime syndicate. This is an organized crime syndicate. That's what's going on right now. And I thought treason was punishable by death. Why are they pardoning and hiring people who tried to overthrow our beloved government. Don't they respect the Constitution? Don't they love the flag and everything the national anthem stands for? So because he was pardoned, it makes perfectly good sense to hire him. Because he was pardoned, it's cool that he threatened the life of police officers. Come on, fam. Make it make sense. One problem with that, you can't. No more talk.